Are we live, Gemma? I think we might be. That's all right. I have no Facebook. Good morning. My Facebook doesn't want to work. So, oh, Gemma's just sort of... Get Beryl in, love. Get Beryl in, sporting a smarf of the week. Good morning, everybody. I think we're live. I don't know. My Facebook has decided it doesn't love me this morning, which is very sad. Very sad indeed. So I'm going to see if I can find me another way round. Who knows, right? Who knows? And if I can, I might get to all. This might be it. This might be my way in. Ha ha! There we go. Yeah, I got into it off my other page. So good morning, everybody. Hi. Sorry we're a little bit late starting. I didn't have my countdown because I couldn't get on Facebook. But good morning. How are you? Did you have a lovely weekend? It flew by, didn't it? I had so much I was going to do. And it just flew. And that was the end of that. Oh, Jenny says you can see me. Fabulous. That all helps. Good morning, Valerie. Hello. Hello, Jan. Hello. Oh, Claire's parcel arrived this morning. Excellent. Yes, right. Let's start off, first off then, with a word about parcels. We are sending everything out as fast as we can. As of Friday, everything that had been ordered by Thursday had gone out. But obviously Royal Mail is heaving and groaning slightly. So we know from personal experience that first class is taking 6 days because of my nephew and Inga's brother. So we know, and we post everything second signed for, which means it might take a little bit longer than that. So we are putting a deadline of the 16th in place for you to get anything that you're desperate for Christmas. Can we please have orders in by then? Let's have a little hello to everybody and then we'll just have a quick go through because we're starting to put a few little Christmas offers on as we start to just gently close down, not close down for the year, but you know, just wind up gently. So there are some good deals to be had. Who do we have? We've got Laurie and Helen, good morning, and Elizabeth, hello. We've got Ali as well and Kaz. Where are you? I don't know, Kaz. I don't know. It's just one of those mornings. I've been all over the shop this morning, I tell you. Good morning, Natasha and team. Good morning, Claire. Good morning, Heather. Good morning, Jenny. Good morning, Wendy. Hello, and Florence as well. Oh, Emily was nearly a Florence. Where else? What else? Who else we got? Valerie and Naomi and Jan. Hello, and Natalie. How is the move going? I feel for you moving this time of year. Jacqueline. Good morning, and Joe. Hello. Kirsty hasn't got a team meeting. Woohoo! This is very good news. They finally cottoned on to the fact there's no point in having one that time in the morning. Mr. Cole Morgan, good morning, sir, to you, and a very happy anniversary for you and your lovely husband at the weekend. Yes, gosh, was it 7? Wanted to say 7 years, something like that. What is that in terms of gifting? Can never remember. Excellent. Nemi says yes, you're live. Good, isn't it? All good. John, I've just realised I didn't ring you on Tuesday. I'm so sorry. I will do that. Elizabeth, nice box. Thanks, it's not mine. It's a borrowed box. Well, that sounds wrong, doesn't it? Nikki, good morning. Who else have we got? Helen, good morning. Good morning. Lots of Helens this morning. Oh yes, we do like seeing your wreath as your profile picture. Naomi Helks, thank you very much. That looks fabulous. Francis, good morning. Yes, Claire, I saw that you were re-upholstering. Is now the time to tell you that we've got ridiculous amounts of upholstery fabric that should be like 150 quid a metre for like £15 a half metre? Isn't now the time to tell you that? Don't know. Maybe there's more that you could upholster. Natalie's going to have to catch off later. Donating a few things she doesn't want to take with her. then back for more packing. Yeah, you see, Emma, this is Emma's last week with us at Natasha Makes. It's all very sad for us, exciting for her because she's off on new adventures. She's going to run a guest house in Devon, so we'll have to organise some residential sewing workshops or something. We'll think of an excuse to come and find her. Happy Monday, Margaret. You're very happy this morning. Yeah, but we were saying, Natalie, that because Emma moves about as often as I've done, and we don't spring clean. We just move house, and that's when we get rid of stuff we don't want anymore. A good old clear out. It's very therapeutic. Morning, Patty. Good morning. Janine says, I have spent my weekend rushed into hospital with a DVT and an infection in my leg. Oh no, you've got to be so careful with that. I hope you're feeling better. You can't mess around with things like that. You really can't. Lo says, poor Royal Mail. Yeah, we've started to send out special delivery as it's the only way to guarantee delivery. Yeah, but it's one of those things. Do we put our delivery costs up? We already subsidise a lot of the postage. It's really hard. It's really hard. And actually, with all the DPD stuff that we sent out for the Christmas boxes and the wreaths, I think there were only, like, out of all of them, 2 or 3 that didn't get there on time. And only one that is still sort of wandering in the ether. In fact, if that is you, can you let me know if it's arrived? Because it still says it's out for delivery. Yes, John, this afternoon, let's catch up. Claire said her postman had an overflowing trolley this morning. Oh, you see, our guy did. Oh, 7 years is wool. There you go, John. You could have bought him a jumper. Oh, it was 8 years. Oh, okay. There you go. Copper or brass. I like your thinking. John said that his 8-year anniversary, which is copper brass, he bought poor Andrew a bottle of Brasso so he can clean his pots. That's really, I mean, funny, but yeah. And you have had to apologise repeatedly. Good, so you should. Morning, Basil. Finally a sunny if soggy day in Norwich. We're sunny and soggy, both of those. Oh, where else are we? There's a moose in the hoose on the dresser. Ah, yeah, the floating heads. We love them. I don't know why you're jumping up and down low. I don't know. She's jumping up and down. I lost that thread. Anyway, good morning to you all. This morning we are all about the bolster cushion. Because we have a lovely lady that watches called Jan, whose husband runs an upholstery company, and they never know what to do with their offcuts. It seems very a shame to waste them, especially when some of these are really expensive fabrics. So what we do is, you can see, she brings round a little box like this. She's very organised. And she puts in it little snippets like that. We photograph them, we load them on our website. It might mean that we've only got one of something. So have a look, because we've loaded nearly 80 of these. It's been a mammoth task. It's taken us ages. It's been a mammoth task. Gemma, bless her, little cottons, has done this for us so that we can bring these to air. But it means that you can get gorgeous, very expensive upholstery weight fabrics for really not very much at all. It's generally nice and wide as well, and it's perfect for upholstery. Now, that means things like bolster cushions are a go-go. Hooray! Now, this is one that Jan made herself. Now, she did a contrast at the end, which is very smart, and you can do that. If you want the bolster cushion pattern, it is on the website. Now, when I did it, I've done it so that you can make this size, which is your standard sort of bolster cushion size. If you do not have, this has got a round foam bolster pad in there, hence why it's all very nice and uniform and everything else. They're on the internet, you can grab them. If you don't have that, and that's what I did with this, make your own. And I'm going to show you how. because it's super simple, and then you can stuff it. Look, there's my inner. I didn't even bother to sew it up because I wanted to show you. But also you'll be able to stuff it if you want to do one of those gorgeous buckwheat ones. We've got organic buckwheat on the website, so you could do buckwheat and lavender, fill it with buckwheat and lavender. Now this isn't upholstery fabric, this is our moda fabric, and all I've done is interfaced it with medium weight interfacing. You could do that twice, or you could add some some sew-on stabilizer, heavy stabilizer, if you wanted it really rigid. It's entirely up to you, but that one there is just done with medium weight interfacing, and it's worked a treat, as you can see. So the instructions give you this size. It also gives you the opportunity to make a yoga one, which is this size. Okay, it's going to take some stuffing. And the reason that I wanted to put the bolster cushion for yoga on there is A, because I'm a yoga instructor, and secondly, I'm not practicing yoga instructor at the moment. My daughter saw to that. Far too broken. And then, but the buckwheat yoga bolsters I have always wanted, and they're so expensive, so I'm like, right, I'm gonna make my own. It's as simple as that, but they're pretty amazing to lie on, and just it's awesome. So that's always a good one. And then the third size that I put on is a long thin one, and that's so that you can do draft excluders, because I've got a draft excluder, and I'm going to be honest, it's rubbish because it only does like that much of the door. So I've put the measurements for this, the bolster cushion, and how to do your own nice long thin, and I would fill that with something a little heavier. So maybe put part buckwheat, or some of the plastic pellets that we've got, the recycled plastic pellets, pop those in, just to give it some weight so that they don't get used as lightsabers. Yeah. By small children in the house. Hooray! Yeah, my my daughter came bimbling into the bathroom the other day. What did she have on? She had a Superman woolly hat on and a lightsaber. I mean, standard, right? That girl, she gets weirder and weirder. Bless her. Love her to bits. She's bonkers. So we're going to make these this morning because bolster cushions are just a bit smart, aren't they? They can add a pop of colour onto a bed, or just be that nice little extra. Because if your armrest isn't quite in the right place on your sofa, sometimes it's just nice to have that. Or if you've got a bad back, sometimes it's just nice to have a little something there. So all of these things are options that we've got for you. I'm not going to go through all 80 or so fabric upholstery options. I'm going to let you peruse that at your leisure. I've got one here that I'm going to use. Now, there are some that say packs, and they will be able to do the normal bolster cushion size that we've got on the pattern for you. Oh, Claire said, I've sent your upholstery fabric links to the chap who asked me to do the cushions. There you go. There you go. They really are incredible value. Incredible value. Oh, Elizabeth embroidered a bolster cover to go over her physio roll. Yeah, they're not the prettiest things, are they? But really useful. And also, I don't know if you've ever used, if you've ever used like pool noodles for physio, they're quite good. And again, they look a bit ugly, slash the kid. Emily used to take big chunks out of mine. I don't know why, strange child. Anyway, so then having bolster cushions meant that I went on we need zips scenario, and you can get all sorts of different size zips. So I then got us, a discrete amount of zip off the roll, continuous zips, whatever you want to call it. But basically we've got these on the show for $2.99 a metre with 2 zip pulls. And you can have as much or as little as you wish. It's a size 3 zip. We've got white, we've got black. It's up to you. We will cut it to your required measurements. If you want super, super swank and a lot more expensive, I think we might still have some Sally Tomato, but that's a size 5. So to give you an idea of the difference, this is a Swish Swish Sally Tomato one. I should really save it for bag making, where it would, it's sort of wasted on a design like that because it's going to be down like that anyway. So your size 3s are going to be absolutely perfect for that. They roll, that's the trouble, isn't it? They roll everywhere. The other thing is, if you are worried about zips, and if that puts you off stuff, it did me for years, it put me off, then I found something from June Taylor called a Zippity Doo Done. Yeah, a bit close. Let me show you, said Zippity Doo Done. They're my measurements, let me pop those under there. And this is a Zippity Doo Done. Now, this is kind of fail-safe zipping because you've got, there's your zip, it's already sewn in. So all you need to do, look, you've got here, your raw edge is tucked in there, just tuck your raw edge in there. There we go. And then just sew down both sides. And that's it in. That is your zip done. So if you are worried in any way, shape or form about your zips, this is the absolute perfect size for the bolster cushion. It's 18 inches and that's about the size that you're going to need for the bolster cushion today. Alrighty. Oh, Ali says I've made bolster cushions using blue strawberry thief. Nice. But won't be making any draft excluders as the ones I have to get taken in the garden by the dogs. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that happens too. Well, that's why I've made covers that you can take off so you can wash them. So I've got the Zippity Doo Duns in white and in grey, but I didn't know if this was something that you guys wanted. I know that our prices are incredibly competitive. These are not cheap zips, I'm not going to lie, I can't. But if you're worried about zips, then this is a great way to go. And they're from June Taylor, who's never the cheapest. But I just thought I would test the market, see if it's something that you wanted. I ordered them about 6 months ago. And then I'd forgotten I'd ordered them, to be honest. And then sort of everything stopped coming out of America. So there we go. But like I say, I literally only have a handful. And when they're gone, unless you guys love them, then they're gone. Okay, so you are going to need, maths had to happen. You're going to need some circles to start yourself off. And all the measurements, I won't bore you with measurements yet. Let's have a look at stuffing. Stuffing. Hang on. I've got how many WhatsApp notifications? Oh my goodness me. Oh, Gemma's just added a whole load of cream, that's why. Right. Cream fabrics that she's just added on there. Right. There we go. Right. Let's go. So the first thing that you're going to do is cut your circular end pieces. That is your 7-inch if you're doing the smaller one. You can just see the difference in size. That's for the larger one there. That's for your bolster, your big yoga bolster. And when I'll cut the fabric for that one in a minute, but when you do, it's going to be folded into quarters like that. So it's just worth at that point just snipping so that you've got your quarter way marks sort of just noted. It just helps a little bit, just keep you on the straight and narrow. So literally when it's like that, you can either mark it with a pen or just cut a little notch in. Easy peasy. And then when you open it out, you can mark it if you want. I don't know what's going on with my voice today, but there you go. You can see on my top, there you go. And it just means, that you then know where you're at. Just going to do that one a little bit more. So on this one, I'm going to turn my iron on. I don't put a zip. I don't put a zip on the lining at all. Okay, so it's just, oh, I should have pressed this, shouldn't I, first? This is just going to be a big round like that, which is absolutely fine. I need to remember which way round. Yeah, that's the length of it. So what I do is press that seam back because that makes sense to me. So, oh, I was going to do it with that. I don't need to, do I? I can go a good 1/2 inch seam on this is what I would do. And I'll try and do it in a cotton that you can see. Here we go. I'm probably teaching grandmother to suck eggs with a lot of you on this, but if this is your first time making a bolster cushion, this is a really nice, simple, easy make for you. And it just struck me that I've never found the bolster cushion that I've really wanted. It's never been quite the firmness that I've wanted. So the old can-do attitude has to kind of kick in. So when it is like that, and you've got your line of stitching down there, you're going to fold that bottom fold up to that folded line, and again you're just going to mark those notches in. Right, now I promised you guys when I said about the show this morning on Facebook, I promised you some fabric deals. So for those of you that are here and watching, we have gone through, I say we, this morning, I went through the warehouse and I took out any of the remaining 1/2 meter heavens that maybe we've got 1 or 2 that didn't get loaded or were left over. I mean, bearing in mind, we've been doing 1/2 meter heavens now for months and months and months and months and months. We've got quite a few where there ended up being an extra 1 or 2 after we cut them that hadn't got loaded and we forgot to load, or just the odd one that escaped us, or just, anyway, so it's using up space and it's time to have a clear out. So here's the thing, you can either get 2 1/2 meter heavens, and they're going to be lucky dips, 2 1/2 meter heaven lucky dip bags. So instead of $19.98, they will be $14.99. So take £5 off and you can get 2 meters of fabric for $14.99. This is all limited in number, obviously, as to what we have left. Or if that's too much of a gamble for you and you're like, well, you know, 1/2 meter is a big piece if it wasn't my choice, totally get that. The other option that we've got for you, and you know the quality of the 1/2 meter heavens that we bring, like week in, week out. So if, and there's Kafe in there, there's Liberty, there's Sanderson, there's Anna Maria Horner, there's Melissa White, there, oh gosh, there's so much. There's Moda, it's all gorgeous, gorgeous fabrics. So the other option that I've done for you, instead of 4 1/2 meters, you can get 8 long quarters, which means that you'll get 4 designer fabrics and then the 4 contrasting colour plain fabrics that would go with it. So that means that you've then got your own jelly rolls that you can create, because each long quarter is 4 2.5 inch strips, isn't it? It's 10 inches in width. There or thereabouts. So we've put that together for you as an option, because I think that for me, I find long quarters often far more useful than a fat quarter. So we've done that for you, but again, they are limited. So, and again, they are $14.99 for 2 meters of fabric. That's 8 long quarters. Will be a lucky dip. We'll try not to make any two the same. and off we go. So they are on the website, they are there, they are loaded for you now. The other thing that I just needed to say as well is that if you want to do the 12 days of Christmas, and you want that activity box or whatever you want to call it, gift box, then it's the last call for that, because we need to then get them packed up and posted out. So today is the last day for the 12 days of Christmas. If you want one, please, please, please have it checked out by midnight so that we can start putting everything together and then sending those out to make sure that you get them by Christmas. And yes, Helen Law, I'm thinking of you. They're not going to be there much before, because I know that you like to rattle stuff and prod and poke it. Steve told me. So there we are. That's where we're at with the half meter heavens. We are just I'm starting to do a stock take. So I'm clearing as I go. It's a big job, but I am starting to clear as I go. So you might find odd bits and bobs that we've got leftovers from shows or whatever that we've found. We're going to put them on a good price and get them gone, ready for the new year. So we've got space for all the new projects that we've got planned, and we've got a lot planned for the new year. It's exciting. So do... Oh, Helen, did you like it? Yeah, I did that. Helen added a couple of things into her parcel. I hand wrote it because I didn't have a label for it. So I might have made it obvious that it was Happy Post. Oh, Karen, you've got a power cut. That's never good, is it? Just going to get the fire on for some heat. Maybe making toast. Oh, proper real fire then. Elizabeth was just enjoying the sound of my dookie. Well, you enjoyed that. You enjoyed that. So what I should have said to have done, but I was distracted, is to have left a turning through gap with this, which obviously I haven't done. But I'll show you with this actually, because I was super impressed. This is the Slice Unpicker, and whilst it hasn't got a particularly pointy edge to get in for your first bit, what I have found is that once you're in, oh my goodness, it is so much safer than using a metal one to cut your stitches. You can just sort of go in and cut along there, and it doesn't just doesn't cut the fabric. It's amazing. And there we go. So that was what I was meant to do, was to leave a turning through gap, but I was chatting. Caroline says, sorry, I was finally, oh, you had to go to the dentist to fix a broken tooth. Oh, from April? What? That's no good. That's really no good. We're going to press this seam open. In between chat, we'll get a demo done, I promise. So you can finger press it open. It just means that when you turn everything through, which you will do, or not, this is your lining. So it doesn't matter if it stays the wrong way out, really doesn't. Then that is all good. Yeah, I am super impressed with those. Oh, you're trying not to dribble. Oh, Caroline, it doesn't always take a trip to the dentist for that to be the case for me. Right. I just need to smell something cooking that smells really good that I haven't cooked. Morning, Moira. Morning, Jan. Jan's watching. Jan of the Bolster. So, we did those quarter marks. Yeah, we're going to line them up. So the first one, obviously, is where your seam was. You can pin these, it's entirely up to you. And if so, pin your opposites and then pin. It's just going to keep you on the straight and narrow. But when we come to the machine, I might move that out the way actually. I put the circle on the bottom, all right? Which might feel a bit weird to start off with, but I'll show you for why in a moment. So start your stitch off, and then what happens is this is quite manoeuvrable, this circle. So I'll just keep pulling that top one up to meet it. And round we go. So as long as that all lines up, we are all good. Right, and we come round to the first one, and yes, we are pretty much lined up. And round we go. So these are super, super simple makes, but they look incredibly stylish. And the beauty of these is obviously that you can fill them with whatever you like. I'm going to do, at some point, I'm going to do a buckwheat and lavender one. But of course, don't forget we've got the buckwheat and sandalwood if you want. Even if you just want the, even if you just want to do like the draft excluder and have it so that it smells great, you can do that too. But you see, I'm a big fan of buckwheat. I sleep on a buckwheat pillow. Right, so now we need to start pulling everything out of here. And there we go, and start to just adjust. Yeah, I sleep on a buckwheat and lavender pillow because then it means that I can get it into the right shape for my neck. It just helps. Far too many car crashes and whiplash injuries and falling off horses and this, that and the other has meant that my neck is not a happy one. Everyone says, oh, Natasha, you don't sleep very much, do you? Well, that's why. I haven't done for years. So round we come, and every time I get to that notch, then we're all good. The other thing just to mention with these is that if your upholstery fabric or whatever fabric you choose to use, just remember to interface it to up to kind of the weight of an upholstery weight fabric. Then if you're working with something that is really loosely woven, zigzag or overlock your stitches first. If you want to snip all the way around, then you can. I'm not going to worry because, again, this is my lining. I'm really not going to worry about it at all. And again, I'm going to find that notchy McNotchta, put it up there and go around. I tend to take this off and start for as long as I can with everything kind of slid on there. I just find that helps. There does come a time, as you saw, where you do just need to just change things up a little bit. But this can just be, there's no zip in this bit. And to be fair, if you wanted to do your bolster cushion like this, then you absolutely can, and just hand stitch it shut. What that means is, though, that whatever stuffing you put in, if you ever needed to wash it, you'd either have to make sure that your stuffing was washable, or that you'd be happy to unpick and take it out. So you do, of course, have that option as well. But this is just a calico, and we've got various calicos. This, I think this one came off. Here we go. I'm at that stage now where I'll take the whole thing off the machine like that and then just move it around. This was off the extra long one. But we've got some lovely good quality and medium weight and all that kind of stuff. To be honest, I'm hard pushed to it to tell the difference between the medium weight and the good quality. But calico is just one of those things that's just so handy to have, isn't it? And also, if you're worried about stitching a circle to start off with, then it's kind of good to practice on this, because then when you come to the real thing, you'll be like, oh yeah, no, I can do that. No problem. I don't know why you would say it in that sort of accent. I have absolutely no idea, but there it is, looking fabulous. So you would just find that hole and then just turn it through. If you want to clip it, like I say, you absolutely can. Now, what width are the upholstery fabrics? Margaret, I think they all differ. So just they should be listed on each one. Like I say, every piece was different because, you know, each piece was. So they should be listed on there, but they should be nice wide pieces for you, unless it says a pack. Now, if it's a pack, then that is the fabric to make this size one. Okay, but otherwise it'll have the measurements on there and you are good to go. Now, someone said to me yesterday, oh, her bolster cushions, when she's made her own innards, it never works out quite right. Well, here's the thing. You can, when you stuff it with whatever you decide to stuff, go right into the corners first and really, really overstuff them. I have used before, if you've got old pillows and things like that have kind of come to their end of their usefulness, you know, and maybe you're going to get some new ones for guests at Christmas or something like that, then keep the stuffing and then you've got loads. And really stuff heavily into the corners. That's why I left the turning through bit there. And I would stuff that before you put it in. Just not fully, because you want to almost overstuff it. A little bit at a time, but do the ends first and really, really super stuff those. And just keep kind of rolling it so that it's all nice and even as it goes in. But that's the beauty of it. You can keep getting your hands in and just making sure that it's stuffed as you wish. So that is the inner. The outer, all that you're doing instead is adding a zip. So these are super, super easy makes, but really stylish too. So this one, let me measure this. I just grabbed this one. I hope it's big enough. Let me see. I want it. Oh, this is why I wrote everything down. My outer needs to be 20.5 by 18. Oh, this is plenty, plenty. Yeah. There we go. Now, this is the other thing to bear in mind, is that when you're working with these, just square everything up first. If you want to use your creative grids, then do. I'm just going to move everything over a little bit so that I can use my mat. And just trim up that edge. It's pretty straight. In fact, it's incredibly straight, but just force of habit. All right, so then what I'm going to do is fold it in half. And because I know that that's my straight line, that's what I'm going to make sure is straight on everything. But use your mats for this. When you've got a big size that you want, use your mats. Right, where are we at? Sorry, just need to keep, I don't want to do this bit wrong. 20.5. You will notice when you get your pattern that the side for the bolster and the size for the outer is slightly different, and that's because of allowing for a zip. That's really, really wonky. Really wonky. Yeah, and that, yeah, like I say, that is just because of allowing for a zip. Actually, this is where creative grids are really clever, because actually, if I bother to line it up correctly, yeah, right. Just trim a little bit off there. What was I saying? Yes. So, there we go. It just allows for the zip. That's all. What is that? What have I just sewn over? Oh. Oh, cup of tea, Jem. I love you for that. Thank you so much. Right. So that is, I need that to be now 18. So you're going to need an 18-inch zip, or grab yourself your off the roll malarkey that I managed to get in for us. Then you've always got, I love those because then I know I've always got the right amount and the right size. So I'm a big fan. Huge fan. There we are. And pop that to one side. Actually, what is the diameter of that? Oh, in a gnat's whisker, that would actually, ooh. If I was super careful, it might do. See, this is where I need to be careful because sometimes I get so overexcited about saving fabric that actually I don't, I skimp, and I really shouldn't. But that should just about do it. Here's the thing, right? If you're using, and this is the Circle Savvy ruler, I've just got these back in stock from Creative Grids. Obviously this is folded and this is upholstery fabric, and that is, quite a depth, and that little rotary cutter is never going to go through there. But it's made enough that I can see the mark going round. So you can always pop a pen in there if you want, and you can always use it to mark off the fabric and then cut it. So that might be actually what I go in and do. No, actually, let's do it with that. I just tend to make one cut with the little rotary cutter. Oh, there we go. I can actually hear that cut now. Can you hear it? And then use that as a guide for cutting. So get your super duper scissors out. There you go. See, it's cut the first layer. Then get your super duper scissors out. I have to say, I have been massively impressed with these Sewline ones, and I will probably get one in, some more in. I'll check the stock on them. But they are phenomenal. Really phenomenal scissors. I didn't think I would ever be swayed away from Fiskars, but I like those a lot. Maureen says, morning all, can't wait to receive my 12 days advent. Yeah, so you are going to have to wait. Because I don't want people opening it before Christmas. So I want to send it all out. And actually, I have to say, you guys have been so good about not spilling the beans about what's been in your advent calendars. And I really hope that you're enjoying them. Because a lot of love and thought and all that kind of thing went into those. And it's the first year that we've ever done them. We're already thinking about what we would do for next year because so many of you wanted them. But when we were thinking about how can we do them, we're only a little company, how can we do them? And that was why everything got wrapped and hand wrapped and labelled so that everybody knew which one they had to open on what day. So if this has got a little bit of bounce and a little bit of spring in it, how's that? Yeah, there we go. You just want enough of a marker. I just couldn't hear it. You can normally hear it crunch. I just couldn't hear it crunch, but it had indeed cut through. But if you want to use this as a template to draw, and you're going to need one of the pens with like a long lead in. And there we go. That's my other circle. Again, you want to mark off. Either pop a little snip or take those corners off so that you know there'll be one There we are, that you'll just need to go in and snip. It just really helps keep me on track. Not that I'm regularly on track, let's be honest. Can I hear my mum sort of go? I read something this morning which was brilliant. It was an Oscar Wilde quote that Stephen Fry had found? And it was so wonderful because he just was saying, you know, those people that know what they're going to be and know what they are often get stuck just being that person. Whereas those people, and I'm included, I hope, in this, that didn't really know, you know, or life has taken them being a bit of this and a bit of that. I've been all sorts of things. You get to do all kinds of different things. And it really resonated with me. I'm like, yes, I think I am that person who puts their hands up and goes, oh yeah, I've done that. I used to be this, I used to be that. Now, let's have a look at zips, shall we? Should we take some of this off? Oh no! Oh. Well, that went wrong, didn't it? I've just unravelled a lot of zip and yeah, over 300 zip pulls have just gone all over the floor. That'll be me for the rest of the day then, won't it? If you have got... Can't believe that just happened. No! I don't know if they're magnetic actually. If they are, I'll just get my little my pin cushion and magnetic pin cushion. That'll pick them all up. I'm going to go a little bit longer with my zip so that I can take my zip out the way if I want to. Meters and meters of the stuff. Well, I didn't want anyone to go without. It looks like a mummy. Looks like some kind of crazy zip mummy. This has all gone wrong over here. Oh no! Try and contain that as much as I can. There we go. Nothing to see here. It's all pristine over there. Can't even blame the catch. It's not in. Oh man! I think that's going to be part of the Natasha Makes bloopers. Have we got Natasha? I mean, I know I've made like loads of Natasha Makes bloopers, but I don't think we did have a conversation about that. And I believe we weren't going to do any. They're generally cat-based, a lot of my bloopers. Sweep them up with a dustpan. Yeah, but yeah, I might do that. Oh, I didn't know the details of the calendar. I watched your demo on TV and searched for you. I love your style. Oh, thank you, Maureen. That's really kind. I do like a good cup of tea. Well, demos make us smile too. You know that I am a zip cheat. Maybe they're getting their own back. Maybe that is zip karma happening. Good and proper there, right? Diane says I can always blame the cat. I generally do. Have you noticed? I generally do blame the cat for my... It's generally their fault, to be fair. It is generally their fault. Although Theo was particularly gorgeous with Emily yesterday. And she's tired. It's end of term. She's tired. You know, she's only 2 and she does 3 full days a week at school because she doesn't let you call it nursery. She calls it school. Because then she's like Freddie. And so she's tired, you know, she's really tired. Oh, I've just taken that zip thing off the end. I've got to remember which way round to put this. So the thing with these zips is it's easier to put them on an end that is done up. All right. And there's something that I never like to, I can't remember which way around it is. I'll pop a sheet in with it. Sally Tomato do an amazing sheet on how to get these on because there is a knack and she talks you through it. And I can't remember which way around now. Jane did this morning. She's like, it's all right. You just do it like this. Oh well, we'll whack the zip on later. But if you've got one that already has zip pulls on, shall I give this to Jane to put back on? Jane? What I would say is the first thing that we were going to do is just stitch over the end so that this can't happen when you've spent ages putting the zip pull on and then it just comes off. I'm not liking zips today. I'm going to put that to one side and use one that's already threaded on. Come here, Sally Tomato zip. You see, I threaded these on the weekend because, yeah, I was like, oh, I could just get that done. That would be easy. I'll just do that. And I'll give that one back to Jane to do. She did it with ease this morning. That's fine. I think you're having a bit of a zip off, Elizabeth. Some days you just have to know when you beat, and this is it. And I normally really love continuous zips because I hate being stopped in a project because I don't have the right size zip, or having to spend ages making like zip ends and zip tabs and stuff to try and get it to the right size, which you can always do. That's fine. So let's go again. You can stitch over the end and then your zip is not going to come off, which is possibly quite a good thing to do. So I'll just have a little look at your hang on, do I dare? Actually, do I dare look at any of your comments? During upholstery, Ryan comes along, ooh, zip, slow motion, no, and he pulls the glider off. I know, there is a knack, and what I would say is once you get the knack, slide them all on. Just get them all on. And you're laughing. And then just, you know that you've got them. Because it only takes to do one. You're like, yeah. Like with that, I popped them all on. No bother at all. But yeah, you can either look online, or if you want, I can pop in with your zips, the Sally Tomato advice that she gives. But you see, we haven't really been able to get much Sally Tomato stuff because we just don't know how long stuff's going to take. So right sides together with the old zippity zips, or if you're using your zippity doo done, whatever it's called, then what you would do now, which would be far easier, and I'm really quite tempted to just whip one out, but I really don't have the stock, is you just put your fabric in there and then just stitch there. Done. That is really very tempting right now. Right side of your fabric, check you've got the correct end as well, and pop it on the top, just like I mean, this is easier than the normal zips, isn't it, because you don't have any lining right now. But what I've done is I've cut my sorry, my cup of tea's in the way. I've cut my continuous zip, or zip on a roll, whatever you want to call it, just slightly longer, and tied it off at the end, just sewed it off on the end, which means that I can pull it up to there and get it out the way, so I don't have to do that stopping and jiggling around thing. Nobody likes to stop and jiggle. Well, I mean, maybe they do. I can't comment for everyone. Oh, Jenny, you've joined us. Good morning. How are you? Yeah, there's a pin from a pin cushion. Right, zipper for dawn, people. Oh, walking the dogs on the beach. Oh, we need to come to Pitt and Weem. You're surrounded by beautiful beaches up there. Ginny, bless her, sent me the tourist information guide thing to Pitt and Weem so that we can come on our tour to Pitt and Weem. We need this in our lives. Alrighty. Get a stitch in. Get him a stitch on. I cannot wait to take my dogs to the beach again. Maudie went when she was only a few months old. That's our Otter Hound. And she loved it. And Margot's never been the Great Dane, I don't think, because she's a lockdown dog. But over Christmas, when we have our week off, we start pre-recording our shows for you for Christmas this week. We might go down to Western Supermud and take the pups down there for a little bit. Now that we've got the big yellow bus. Oh, good, Helen. I'm glad you like your scrap bags. I think we might have a few scrap bags left. But otherwise, yeah, your deal today, your fabric deal of the day is definitely the, what am I saying? It's definitely half meters and your long quarters. 2 meters of fabric for $14.99. I think we're laughing. Right, finger press that away and then just again pop a little stitch down there just to hold that away in place. And if you want to, you can either flip your zip foot onto the other side, or just carry on as you were and just roll it a bit. Now with this, come on you, there we go. Just top stitch now. I'm concentrating. I know, weird, right? And again, just really handy that I've got that extra length to keep that zip out of my way. Did I just... There. Okay. What's that? Walking the dogs on the beach, tide rolling over and beautifully patterned sand, noisy and lovely. Oh, gorgeous. So, Freddie gets into the car after a walk on the race course, and he's jumped in every puddle, every single puddle. And he's just like, do you not mind, Mummy? I'm like, look, Freds, you have been getting yourself absolutely soaked since you were a baby. And all the time you don't complain about being soaking wet. It's fine by me. He just loves it. There's just something in it. And it was that rippling sand that reminded me, because we used to take the dogs to, when we lived in Cornwall before, well, gosh, when he was only tiny wee. He was about 18 months when we left, 16 months when we left. And then used to go back when Mum and Dad were still in Cornwall and take him to the beach because he just loves the beach. And he would just lie, and we've got photos of him in January just making sand angels in the ripply wet sand. And then having to stand him in the boot of the car before we put the dogs in, strip him, redress him in something that wasn't soaking wet, and merrily go on our way. So, and nothing changes for the boy. Absolutely nothing changes. He still just gravitates to water and getting himself absolutely soaking wet. Hooray! Hooray! Love it. You can't he just has so much fun though, you just can't tell him off. And then of course the dogs join him, so then you really can't tell him off, because it's like, well, you know, they're coming too. Plus, my mother will always remind me when I was little, and we went to the Lake District on holiday, and I must have only been 3, so a little bit older than Ems, for my auntie's wedding, and filling my boots at one of the lakes, because oh hello, what am I stuck on? Because my brother. My brother's boots were taller than mine. So I obviously thought I could go out as far as him. Turns out, no, you cannot. My dad had to carry me all the way home on his shoulders. Because unlike my son, I do complain when I have wet feet. Oh, now then, I'm just realigning here. so that that fabric is, there we go. Which is the joy. If that was pinned, I'd have to stop and do all sorts of stuff. There we go. Now, there are pros and cons, right? Because if you are using a zip that you add the zipper onto, and if you've got the neck and you're happy to add the zip on afterwards, then you can have that completely open and you can sew both sides of your zip and off you go, you're laughing. And that was what I did with that one. Otherwise, just open it up. So that you can just get in and top stitch. Here we go, this side. Top stitch down there. And what I would say is you can always go part way. And if you want to on that, your zip's down there now. So if you want to, you can always snip that open to make it easier and top stitch down and round. But again, this is just entirely up to you. What I will just do is pop a little stitch in this end, because I don't want to take the zip all the way down there and then have it go off the other end. And it might seem like I'm being really pernickety about it, but when it's happened to you and you don't want the zip off, it's a right old pain. But if you're a whiz at putting them on, then it's easier to do the zip that way. There we go. Which means that I can now undo that. Which side is the one? I'm lost. Which side? That side. Finger press back and then just stitch down. And what I tend to do is stitch down and then swap my foot over to the other side. I'll show you. Monty used to go mental on the beach. He loved racing around it in circles. They do. They go really crazy, don't they, on the beach? Eric used to love Rock because there were so many other dogs there, our Great Dane. And I remember watching him on the beach, and when I was very pregnant with Freddie, and saying to my husband, I really hope that we knew that he was going to be Freddie, that Freddie is like Eric. And he sort of looked at me as if to say, you crazy woman, what do you mean? Why do you want our child to take after Eric? And I said, well, you know, Eric is a 12-stone Great Dane, for those of you that don't know. But I'm just checking, it just doesn't sound right. I've come undone, that's why. And Eric is a 12-stone Great Dane, and he used to just run up to every dog and just assume that they were his friend. And that was what I always wanted for Freddie. So I hope, because, you know, chances are he's going to be super tall. The chance I reckon about 6'7". Wrong button. There we go. And I just do hope that Freddie just thinks everyone is his friend, and he does just assume that everyone is his friend, just like Eric does. So yeah, he does take after the Dane, for which we're all very grateful. And it's worked for Eric in life, you know, everyone is his friend. Now, you can either oof this around or just undo it . And then you can come in at it from the other angle. That's what I mean by just switching it around Just realised I didn't actually stitch on the zipper line. You know what I'm doing. There we go. Anyway, you can come in from the other end. Just switch your zipper foot over to the other side. There we go. So we are all zippers in place. And what I would do is, if you want to, that is, stitch over that other end. And you can do that with your machine because you can take the zipper foot off. It's just a slightly different beast, isn't it? That's all. And obviously you're not going to do that if you've got a metal foot at all. But that's just going to hold everything in place. And you can do that by hand, you can do it with your machine. It's entirely up to you. There we go. Right. Snip that off and we are good to go. So we're going to do exactly the same thing. We're going to start with these notches. Did we put, oh, we haven't put the notches in yet, have we? Are we back? I think we might be. There we go. That should be an end to the hissing. Sorry about that. My battery ran out. It said it had loads of life. It's lying. Are we off? Are we off fuzzing? Still hissing? Shouldn't be hissing.
There is a slight delay, so...
We're all good. Are we good?
We are.
Yay! We're back. Sorry about that, everybody. I don't know where we got to, but we're basically going to repeat what we did for that. My battery said, thanks Ems, my battery said that it had plenty for this show, and it clearly lied, didn't it? Hey? Clearly lied. Sorry everyone, sorry. And we're back. Yeah, we're back in the room. Right, round we jolly well go. And again, just making sure those notches line up as you go. If you want to doubly make sure, then you can, of course, pin it and pin to the notches, in which case you'll be absolutely fine. If you don't want to do that, then that's absolutely fine. And the other thing to do as well is, if you want to, you can go around twice, especially if you're working with a thicker fabric like this. If you want to go around twice just to reinforce, so almost baste first and then go around, then you can. Who are Mabel and Olive? That's what I want to know, Ginny. Who are they? You see, I don't really I know it sounds dreadful, doesn't it? I don't really watch much YouTube, given that I you know, have a channel on YouTube, but I don't because. Oh my goodness, the June Taylor zips have sold out. Wowzers. Because I don't really want the kids watching it. So that's why not. Freddie, because you never quite know what's going to come up next, do you? Here we go. So look, you basically just go round there and keep going round. And if you want to go around twice, then do. But you've watched me do 2 of these, so we won't keep doing this. There we go. So when you do, here we go, I'll turn that through so you can see, and you basically just repeat. There we go. And that's your end there. So you'll repeat that on the other side. Obviously leave the zip open so that you can turn it through, but you don't need to watch me do the same thing 4 times. But what I would say is, when you come to stuff it, like I said, stuff this both ends and then put it in, and then fill it, stuff it, really stuff it. And then you'll be good to go. But that would be my advice to you. And if you want to clip the fabric around here, it doesn't really need it, but if it's just something that you're used to doing, then do. So I will finish that off later and put the other end in, but just remember to open up that zip as well. And the other thing just to bear in mind is to make sure that you haven't, with your zip, that is going to be the same length as your inner was when you went round. I've allowed for zips, but if you've sewn really close and you've taken up a little bit too much, then you might just want to pin and check, and otherwise adjust when you pop that in. That's the only thing. If you pin it, then you know you're absolutely right. So yeah, make them in all sizes. Do them for the draft excluders, do them for yoga bolsters, do them for your armchair, do them a little one maybe for your office chair, wherever you fancy. Oh, Leanne's going to catch up later. She's got someone viewing her house. Are you all moving it? Is there anybody that's actually staying put where they are? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And Myra's really excited. She's just purchased her first long quarter bundle. Yay! Good for you. Ali's looking forward to getting to the beach. Excellent. Yay, see, we're going to be able to do all this. Sorry about the hissing, guys. Sorry about that. There we go. There we are. And what else did I have to say to you? A blooper DVD for Christmas next year would be good. Do they do DVD holders to hold multiples? Myra, I don't know what you mean. Oh, look. I wanted to give you a simple way to add some colour, add something rather gorgeous to your home, and just to enjoy. That was kind of the key for this morning, bringing you the beautiful upholstery fabric. Also, look out for our Victoria Peat slouchy doorstop, because that's perfect as well in upholstery fabric. So I would probably manage to make one out of what I had left over here. Or if I wanted to do a contrast top, it's entirely up to you. But have a go, enjoy. It's one of those things, isn't it? For those of us that have been locked down, you suddenly start looking around the house going, oh, I changed that. Oh, I just changed my whole set dressing. And so if we can do that in a really affordable way, then that's absolutely great. So there we go. Make the most of the long quarter bundles. When they're gone, they are gone. Same with the double half meter heaven lucky dips, which again, you'll get your 4.5 meters in there for $14.99. So you're saving £5 off the normal half meter heaven price, and they're brilliant value anyway. So that is pretty much it. Tomorrow is Helen McCook. Love Helen McCook. So we've got Helen McCook on tomorrow, and we've got some beautiful seams present bundles. They've got gorgeous necklaces, beautiful leather scissor pouches, all coming up tomorrow. So we've got lots of incredible items for you tomorrow, with an idea for gifting, with an idea for projects that are going to take you into next year and beyond. And also some fabulous deals as well, because we're getting to that time of year. As and when I find it in the warehouse, if we no longer need its company, you can have it at a great price. And that's where we're at. We're having a little tidy up and a sort out, which is what I'm going to go and do now. Oh, Ali, yes, she says, thanks for a lovely show. Hope your day gets better. It's one of those things, isn't it? Maureen says, I've got my long quarter bundles and half meter bundles as well. Can't wait. Fabulous. My thread kept breaking on my very thick fabric. Then I switched to your spools of thread, sewed like a dream. Yes, so do use polyester with upholstery because it's stronger. Cotton ain't always gonna cut it. Laurie says, have a nice day. Thanks for the demo in the chat. Thank you. Enjoy the zip pick. Don't know what my zip pick is, but I shall find out. Guys, take care. Have a lovely day, and I will see you tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock, with the fabulous Helen McCook. Who knows where that journey is going to take us. Take care. Bye-bye.